2K is back with its yearly entry into the WWE franchise with WWE 2K23. Now, I know you're all excited to get your hands on this game, but the real question is, should you buy it? Well, fear not, my fellow wrestling fans, because I'm here to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and help you decide if you should buy WWE 2K23. Just a quick heads up, it should be noted we did play this during early access, so any bugs or issues may have been addressed on the official launch day. First things first, let's talk about the gameplay. As someone who has played a fair share of wrestling games, we are happy to report that the controls are smooth, responsive, and intuitive. Whether you're grappling, striking, or performing high-flying maneuvers, the game feels very satisfying to play. The new momentum system is also a nice addition, as it adds a layer of strategy to your matches. However, some players have noted that the game can feel a bit repetitive at times, and that the AI can be a little bit too predictable. Saying that, one thing that has drastically improved this year is the difficulty of counters. It's easy to learn but hard to master, which is a really good balance, as in previous years it kind of felt like you were playing a game of Pong with the constant back and forth counters. This year you are actually surprised when you hit that counter, and it makes it much more satisfying. Now let's move on to the graphics, and let me tell you, they are nothing short of stunning. The wrestlers look incredibly lifelike, with every muscle and movement captured in detail. The arenas are also beautifully rendered, with dynamic lighting that adds to the realism. However, some reviewers have pointed out that the crowd could be better animated, and that some character models could use a bit more polish. As pointed out by our very own Lloyd in his early access review, one thing the game does really well is dull down the flash and fanciness when needed. If you grew up watching ECW, you know it was gritty and far from the current day glitz and glamour, and this is reflected to perfection in the game, with the lighting environments completely changing based on the arenas you compete in. Of course, no wrestling game would be complete without a robust roster of wrestlers to choose from, and WWE 2K23 does not disappoint in this regard. With over 200 wrestlers to choose from, including legends, current stars, and even NXT prospects, you're sure to find someone you love to play as. The customization options are also impressive, allowing you to create your own wrestlers and arenas with ease. Add to this the ever-growing talented community creators, and the roster possibilities are endless. And bonus fact, you can now fully customize in-game models, giving community creators much more flexibility and creative freedom. Want to see what Kane looks like without his mask? Your wish is my command. The gameplay mechanics and animations are second to none, and are some of the best in any sports game out there currently. Yes, there's always going to be the inevitable arm clipping through a rope, but 99% of the time it's a smooth experience. In the office, we really like the fact that they've implemented a new kick-out system, using timing as opposed to button mashing. But hey, we're old school, so button mashing will always win, but it's nice to have the choice. We can't have a should you buy 2K23 without mentioning War Games, the chaotic mode involving 2 rings surrounded by a steel cage. Sounds strange? Well, let's add an extra dynamic and have superstars enter from the crowd every few minutes after being locked in their own cage. It's an extremely ambitious game mode, and the risk certainly pays off. Having 2 simultaneously interactive rings full of superstars is no easy feat, but it honestly feels seamless to transition between the two, so hats off to the team for pulling it off. But as with any game, there are some downsides. One of the biggest complaints about WWE 2K23 is the lack of an in-depth story mode. While the game does have a career mode, it's not quite as engaging as previous entries in the series. It does become tedious, and while there is progression throughout the career, I don't know if it will be enough to keep fans engaged with the mode in the long run. MyGM saw improvements this year, with more GMs on offer and an emphasis on multiple season playthroughs for the longevity of the series. While there are improvements, there are no drastic changes, and you still end up with random tasks such as a fatal 4-way Hell in a Cell match needing to be placed on a random Monday Night Raw show. It just completely takes you out of the experience. My Faction and Universe mode make their returns, but at the time of the review, these modes are not something we've dived deep into, but on the surface, other than adding rivalry actions in Universe mode, there are no game-changing additions. So, should you buy WWE 2K23? Well, if you're a wrestling fan looking for a fun, polished game with a huge roster of wrestlers, then yes, absolutely. The gameplay is smooth, the graphics are stunning, and the customization options are great. 2K22 was a significant step up, and WWE 2K23 continues to build on that success. Yes, the My Rise could be significantly more engaging, but it doesn't take away from just how fun the game is. We plan on releasing much more WWE 2K23 content over the next few weeks, so make sure to subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, you should check out this video where we discuss the ability to completely alter in-game superstars on WWE 2K23.